Hi everyone, I've done several videos on UK crypto regulation and some on US crypto regulation also. So I thought it would be good to take a look at what the EU is planning and where they're up to with regards to crypto regulation in this video, both on a wider EU level and also at some individual countries. Because as I'm sure you know, the EU Parliament and Council put into law in June 2023 legislation called MiCA, which stands for Markets in Crypto Assets Regulation, and which was one of the first cryptocurrency regulations to be implemented around the world. But as you can see, they've been continuing to work on this and have added additional regulation on stablecoins and anti-money laundering, among other things, which is what we'll look at in this video. Given that regulations will come into force in the EU in June 2024 for stablecoins and the rest at the end of December 2024. So please do like this video and subscribe to the channel so I can continue to offer more content for you in future. Just a reminder that nothing contained here is financial advice. And let's jump straight in and take a look at the latest updates on crypto regulation in the EU. The most recent news coming out from the European Parliament about MiCA and crypto regulation is that they passed and added new legislation on the 24th of April 2024, which imposes on all crypto asset service providers, so crypto firms such as centralized exchanges, trading platforms, wallet providers, asset managers, etc., enhanced and tighter KYC, or Know Your Customer, and AML, or anti-money laundering, and terrorist financing rules, which will require more enhanced checks on customers' identity, reporting of customer data, more due diligence, etc. With the legislation specifically mentioning the advancement of the FATF's recommendations, which I've mentioned in several videos previously. So crypto asset providers won't be able to provide anonymous accounts for users or privacy coins, which could hide information about transactions and users. And this regulation mentions the ability for them to track crypto more easily and to make it harder for criminals and terrorists to circumvent AML rules and essentially hide by using crypto. And this isn't that new, given that KYC and AML are a requirement in most places now for crypto providers. However, the EU did confirm that they've removed two rules in this legislation. Firstly, that there'll no longer be a €1,000 limit on cryptocurrency payments from self-hosted crypto wallets. And remember, a self-hosted crypto wallet is non-custodial, so is where you hold your private keys rather than a third party. And these obviously include hardware wallets and cold storage like Trezor, Ledger, etc. And secondly, they've removed the requirement to implement identity checks on self-hosted crypto wallets if they receive any crypto. I'm guessing this is because it would be a nightmare to try to enforce. However, crypto asset providers do still need to verify the identity of the user that sent the crypto from an exchange, let's say, to a self-hosted crypto wallet, like a hardware wallet. And there are still some restrictions, unfortunately, with cash payments being limited to a maximum of €10,000, with individual EU countries being able to set lower limits if they choose to, and anonymous cash payments over €3,000 are banned. And this is a concern shared by quite a lot of people, including Patrick Breyer, a German member of the European Parliament who advocates for digital freedom and who called this restriction on transactions an attack on financial freedom, economic independence, and financial privacy, which should be a fundamental given right that each individual has, with others adopting more of a balanced view, such as the EU Strategy and Policy Director at Circle, Patrick Hansen, agreeing with some of these concerns, but calling it overall a positive result, given that this is a less strict set of regulations than was originally planned. Some also state that this will have a positive effect for crypto overall moving forward, with less media attention towards money laundering in crypto if regulations are put in place, and generally just making it easier for companies and users to interact with crypto, with the aim of hopefully increasing adoption further in future. With another aspect of this new legislation we can see here, however, from the European Parliament's website, being that those with legitimate interest, whatever that means, of the ownership information of crypto users held by individual EU countries and the EU as a whole will be made available to journalists, media professionals, civil society organisations, competent authorities and supervisory bodies as immediate, unfiltered, direct and free access. Because as part of this additional crypto regulation, a new agency has been given the authority of overseeing and supervising this new regulation, called the Authority for Anti-Money Laundering and Countering the Financing of Terrorism, or AMLA, which will be based in Frankfurt, Germany, and will apparently grow to have over 430 members of staff across the next 4 years. So, having looked at an update on crypto regulation in the EU, how are individual EU countries preparing to enforce MiCA, given that new stablecoin regulation is coming into force in the EU in June 2024? Well, each EU country must create local laws that meet with the wider MiCA EU rules, with some aspects that are set in stone and others that the individual country can decide upon itself. So for a crypto business, the key questions will probably be what the differences are in each country, and would these affect where it would be best to operate? Who will be the local regulator that supervises crypto in that country? For example, will the central bank handle stablecoins? And will it take advantage of an 18-month transitional period that's allowed under MiCA's rules, which may end up being reduced down to 12 months? And some countries are further along that path than others. For example, France and Germany created their laws quite early on, so we'll likely find it easier to transition, with likely only minor adjustments needed, with France already having its MiCA authorities in place through the AMF and the ACPR, which is part of the Bank of France, its central bank. Croatia will follow a similar setup in the sense that they will split MiCA regulation between the Croatian National Bank and financial regulator HANFA. Some countries, however, don't have two financial regulators to do this, such as Hungary and Slovakia, for example. So they're looking to regulate crypto through their central banks, with the Netherlands also deciding to do this through its central bank, which is the DNB, and has actually started already accepting licensing applications, which will start officially at the end of December 2024, when MiCA does also. But one of the largest concerns, particularly for smaller jurisdictions maybe, will be the requirements for the licensing of all crypto firms in that country, which will take up a lot of resources. Of the countries that still need to approve legislation to align with MiCA, these include Denmark, Austria, Estonia, and Croatia as of the end of April 2024, with Denmark using its FSA to regulate crypto in its country. Poland, Lithuania, Ireland, Slovenia, and Finland have apparently already consulted publicly on their draft legislation, so won't be too far off passing this. And Portugal has apparently yet to decide who will regulate crypto in its country in order to meet the needs of MiCA, with several countries having already stated that they will take up the EU's transition period so that they have more time to get things in order, with some of these being Spain and Croatia. But that ends this video looking at the EU's crypto regulations. And as always, I'd love to know what you think in the comments below about it. And if you're interested in more of a tailored approach to your crypto education, and you think you'd benefit from having someone look over your shoulder and guide you on your journey, I do offer one-to-one coaching to those who have the desire and the means to educate themselves further. And there are links in the description where you can message me and book in a free video call to see if we'd be a good fit. And if you found this content interesting, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel, as it really does help. And have a great day.